Hey guys, Metal Jesus here. Now today I'm going to review the NEOGEO Mini. This is the international version right here, and a lot of people are curious about it. Now, some things are very cool, and some things are pretty disappointing. Let's take a look. Now, before we get started here, I do want to mention that SNK sent me this review unit here. However, no one is reviewing my content before it goes live, and all of the opinions in this video are my own, which will be pretty obvious considering that you'll see I'm not exactly in love with this thing. With that out of the way, you can see that I have the console itself, as well as two of the optional controllers. And then as a little surprise, they are also selling branded NEOGEO HDMI cables. Again, completely optional, but they did send them. Let's go ahead and dive right in. And as I mentioned in the intro, this is the international version. Now there is a Japanese version as well. The biggest difference being that the games included on it are slightly different. So here are the games that are included on this one here. You see that there are 40 classic NEOGEO games. 14 of them are different than what you would get in the Japanese version. Obviously, these mini consoles are super popular today. There's lots of different companies bringing these out. But as you can see, one of the more interesting features of this one is that it includes a 3.5-inch LCD screen. To give you an idea of the size, I've placed it next to the Nintendo Classic here. And I do think it has about the same footprint, although obviously, as you can see, it's much higher. That's because, of course, it has a screen. So in general, actually, I think the size is perfect if you want to have it on your desk. Zooming in on the controller itself, we have, of course, in the left there, the joystick, select, start, and then pay attention to the buttons there, A, B, C, and D. Now, those might be in a slightly different orientation than you're used to, but we're going to come back to that in a bit. Also of note here, the joystick is not clicky like you would normally expect a NEOGEO controller to be. And again, we're going to come back to that in a little bit. Swinging around to the back of the unit, you have your on-off switch. There is your HDMI out if you want to connect it to an HD television, headphone jack, and this is where you plug in your USB-C power adapter. It's important to note that this comes with the USB cable, but not the actual adapter to plug into the wall. Not sure why they did that, it's kind of annoying. Booting up the device, here is the interface, and you can see here it actually is pretty nice looking, very simple. Has all of the games laid out horizontally, you cycle through them. You can access the settings by hitting start and select, although we're going to go into that in a little bit more detail later. So let's go ahead and play some games, and we're going to start with portable mode here. So this is how it would play if you bought it without any of the accessories. And as you can see there, it's using the analog joystick. It doesn't feel like a normal NEOGEO controller, but actually it works really well. And you guys know that obviously I'm a big guy, I've got big hands, and I was able to control my games and play them just fine on this. I mean, yes, it's cramped, it's not optimal, but it's totally doable. Also, I noticed immediately just how crisp and nice looking this 3.5-inch LCD screen looks playing these games. I mean, it looks fantastic when you're playing it. I was really surprised, actually. Okay, so it plays in portable mode, it's good. So let's go ahead and check it out if it's connected to your HD television. So we're gonna plug in the official NEOGEO HDMI cable, which you don't need to have, by the way. They just sent it, so of course I'm gonna have to use it. And we're gonna go into settings where you can set the language. You can also sort your games if you wish, but under screen, this is where you can set how you want it to look on your HD television, either stretched out or in the original 4:3 aspect ratio, which is kind of what I prefer. There's also a setting called image quality optimization, and really what that is an artificial smoothing out of the pixels through the emulation. Some people like it. I'm not crazy about it, but you can play with it if you want. Here's the original Metal Slug running on the NEOGEO Mini through HDMI. And a couple things here. The first thing, when I first launched it, I actually was like, why is it not sharp? You know, like, I wonder if there was a setting, but no, this is actually how it looks. So this is obviously stretched, so it's not in a 4:3 aspect ratio, but really it's running in 720p, which again is not terrible, but it's not great either. Like, I don't know what I was expecting, but I was definitely looking for something a little bit sharper than this. And then I got to thinking, well, wait, am I crazy? Because I also have Metal Slug running on the Switch, which is what you see right here. Now, to be fair, the Switch is outputting to 1080p, not 720p. And yeah, actually the Switch isn't much better. So I was kind of like, wow, I mean, I guess I kind of expected more. I expected this to be like a great NEOGEO experience, you know? And then I got to thinking, I was like, wait, okay, doesn't the Super Nintendo Classic look better than this? So hook this up. And I was like, oh yeah, see, this is what it should look like. Nintendo gets it. I mean, keep in mind that the NES Classic is cheaper and the games look better. Now, I know it's not apple to oranges, but you know, there was a time when the NEOGEO was the premier gaming system on the planet. And it's just kind of disappointing that for this one, the quality is not there. I guess what I'm trying to get at is that I was hoping, since this is an official SNK NEOGEO mini console, that they would make it the best version possible. Now, again, in portable mode, I think it's acceptable, but video out, you can see here, I mean, it's just not as good as it could be, and that's really disappointing. All right, so video out, kind of disappointing, but let's go ahead and check out the optional controllers that they're selling. So they have a white one and a black one, and I gotta admit, these things look pretty awesome. You know, kind of like the Nintendo Classic, this could be a great solution for leaning back on the couch, playing these games on your HD television, also with a second player. But they've made some really disappointing decisions. Check this out. This is the new controller, and there are no micro switches. This is 100% analog. Now here is the original NEOGEO CD controller released in 1994. Hear those micro switches? That's how this should be. So I was curious, reached out to SNK and asked them, why did you not include micro switches? Clicky thumbsticks is very hard to make. Okay, I guess. I mean, you know, to be fair, this is a decent controller. It's just weird. I always in my mind, when I think of NEOGEO, I do think of those awesome thumbsticks. And it's just disappointing that they changed it for no apparent reason other than it's just hard. Another change I noticed is the button location. So on the top there is the original NEOGEO CD controller from 1994. On the bottom is the new one. And then notice how the A, B, C, and D buttons are in just different locations. And this actually matches the front of the console as well. The thinking here might be that this is more comfortable for modern gamers. I have no idea, but if you're a longtime NEOGEO fan, just be aware you're gonna have to kind of get used to that. So if you want to pick this up, it's going to cost about $100, and then those individual controllers are around $25 a piece. Who is this for? Well, I think if you're very nostalgic for the NEOGEO and you want to set it on your desk and play in portable mode, this is actually a pretty good deal. I mean, it comes with 40 games. Now, I do want to mention that it's a bit of a missed opportunity that they didn't include support for using batteries. It has to be plugged into power all the time, which again doesn't make much sense. I think it would have been really cool to at least, you know, have the option to put your own batteries in. But again, it's not a deal breaker. Also, too, I want to mention that, you know, the reason why I was doing the comparison between this and the Switch is because a lot of these games are already on the Switch. And frankly, they look a little bit better. So if you don't need the 40 games and you're really trying to play them on an HD television, well, there's a bunch of other ways to get those games, and often they're cheaper. So anyways, guys, I'd love to know what you thought about this video and what you think about the NEOGEO Mini. Are you planning on getting one? Love to know down in the comments. As always, I want to thank you for watching my channel. Thank you for subscribing, and take care. I don't know. I mean, am I expecting too much from these companies? I know that these mini consoles are only $100, but Nintendo did it right. Nintendo set the standard with their amazing classic consoles. And I'm sorry, but these other companies are going to have to step up or don't even do it at all, because we love their stuff so much. Just give us the best product possible. All right, guys, thanks for watching.